From a teenager in Chile who nearly set the ocean on fire, and a school of fish in China that was leaping for fresh air, to a New England man who captured a frozen river breaking apart in real time, and a waterspout outbreak in Thailand that left the locals speechless. Here are more 1 in a billion moments in nature. North Adams is a small city in northwestern Massachusetts, near the borders of New York and Vermont. It's famously home to the largest contemporary art museum in the United States, located between the northern and southern branches of the Hoosick River. Like the rest of New England, North Adams gets exceptionally cold during the winter. The Hoosick River freezes over, creating a thick top layer of ice. However, in early January of 2018, warm winter weather in northwestern Mass caused the river to thaw and flow beneath the ice. A local man named Eric Kearns was there to capture the once-in-a-lifetime moment when everything finally broke and floated over the waterfall.
Speed it's picked up. That's all coming from underneath. That's all coming underneath. Holy cow. Oh my God, look, it's all moving. Ah!
The warm weather was short-lived in North Adams. Temperatures dropped later that night, leading to rain, snow, and more ice. Eric was lucky to witness this ice breakup. If he times it right and watches the weather, he might be able to see it again. Lightning is among Mother Nature's most common spectacles. Every day, there are roughly 3 million flashes around the world. Each flash travels upwards of 270,000 miles per hour and superheats the air to 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 5 times hotter than the sun. Now, while camping in Vermont for a family reunion, this couple and their son learned how powerful, bright, and loud a bolt of lightning can be. Watch as it strikes the top of their tent and shakes the entire family to their core. Our cameraman's father hurries to help Mom, who was standing outside when the lightning struck. She was disoriented and her ears were ringing, though we believe she was ultimately okay. Meanwhile, our cameraman ran across the yard and into a barn, where he sought shelter with the rest of his extended family. The storm soon passed, and our cameraman returned to inspect the damage.
Sparky did it.
From the look of things, lightning struck multiple tents during the storm. It must have gone through the metal and snaked along the ground, explaining the giant gashes under their tents. We're assuming they didn't dig those trenches themselves. Flash floods are called flash floods for a reason. They can happen out of nowhere and easily catch you off guard. A cameraman in China learned that lesson the hard way while filming along the Qiantang River. It was September 19th of 2024. Several days of heavy rain near Hangzhou City caused the Qiantang to swell. Our cameraman thought he was filming a small tidal wave when he noticed a surge of water coming downriver. Running away was impossible, so he decided to go up instead. As the flooding calmed, our cameraman climbed down from the tree to film the aftermath. He said he was standing in water up to his knees and was lucky he spotted the tree when he did. He fears the flood would have been strong enough to drag him away if he hadn't. He learned a valuable lesson that day. Never underestimate the raw power of Mother Nature. She can sweep you off your feet in a flash. Eckernförde, Germany, is a small coastal city on the northern shores of Jade Bay. It's home to roughly 23,000 people, including one local man who takes his yard work seriously. He didn't appreciate it when a freak waterspout nearly ripped his backyard to shreds. It was August 30th of 2014. Michael Foreman was in his backyard when he spotted something strange on the lake. It was a waterspout, and a strong one too. The worst part is that it was heading for his beautiful lawn. There's a reason the National Weather Service will issue a tornado warning whenever a waterspout moves onto land. While they're generally harmless, the whipping winds can still pack a punch. This one wouldn't have swept Michael off his feet, but it could have easily picked up a garden rock and thrown it at his head. Thankfully, he was okay, and his yard was mostly intact. Shenyang, China is a prefecture-level city in Liaoning province. It's home to about 9 million people and one school of fish that may have escaped from the circus. On July 26th of 2024, a severe rainstorm dumped buckets of water on Shenyang City. Undeterred by the weather, a local man decided it was a good time for a walk. As he crossed over a river, he noticed lots of thrashing and splashing in the water. He couldn't believe his eyes when he realized what was happening. There must have been over 100 fish leaping from the river. Our cameraman thought it was thrilling, funny even. He didn't know that the fish were actually struggling to breathe. Fish leaping out of water like this is a survival technique. The heavy rainstorm caused the water to fill with sediment and debris, making it hard for sunlight to pass through and initiate photosynthesis. In search of oxygen, the fish panic and leap out of the water. This triggers a chain reaction, causing other fish to join. It's believed that the splashing helps aerate the surface water, allowing them to breathe on their way out and back in. Leyland Romarate thought he was watching a glitch in the Matrix. He was standing outside Mandaue City in the Philippines when the sky suddenly split in half. The left side was daytime, while the other side was early evening. He knew nobody would believe him, so he pulled out his phone to record the rare phenomena. Was it a glitch? Was it a natural occurrence? Or was it just a fun phone filter?
That's real, like, there's no filter, guys. Just a literal line right there. What is that? I've never seen anything like this before. Wow. Look at that. Oh. Lagi ko nag-ikuan. Gituyo. What is that? Is this something natural? I've never seen this.
What you're watching is 100% natural. You're just not going to believe what it's called. Meet the Terminator, the moving line dividing daytime and nighttime Earth. It's also called the Twilight Zone. Some people refer to the visual phenomenon as a split sunset. The clear divide happens due to Earth's rotation, creating the gradual transition from day to night. Usually, the Terminator isn't as obvious, but under the right conditions, you can see the split sunset effect. From what we can gather, it's only visible when two contrasting air masses are present. The masses alter the way light shines through, creating this effect. About 19 miles outside the small town of Leh in Ladakh, India, you'll find a road sign that reads, "The phenomenon that defies gravity." Park your vehicle in the box marked with paint on the road and experience the wonder. The mysterious magnetic hill of Ladakh has become a local legend in northern India. Even though the road appears to slope upward, if you park your car in the square, turn off the engine and put it in neutral, magnetism will allegedly pull it uphill at roughly 12 miles per hour. According to the locals, the hills of Leh were once a pathway leading people straight to heaven. Good and deserving people were dragged toward the mountain and up to heaven, while bad people were simply unaffected. Science sought a more rational answer. In 2015, students from the Rajasthan Institute of Engineering and Technology sought to solve the mystery. Using a magnetometer, they tested the ground's magnetic field to see if it was strong enough to pull a car. The results? It was not. According to their tests, the ground's magnetic pull varied between 25 and 60 microteslas, which is within range of Earth's standard magnetic force. For reference, the average refrigerator magnet is between 5,000 and 10,000 microteslas. So, if magnetism isn't pulling the cars, what is? The answer is gravity and optical illusion. The claim is that the magnetic hill of Ladakh can pull cars uphill. In reality, the hill is sloped downward. Because the region's horizon is obstructed by mountains, it's hard to tell which way the road slopes, even if you're standing on it. That's because you don't have a flat surface to compare yourself to. So-called magnetic hills like these exist all over the world. They have signs with magnets on them and instructions on how to defy gravity. None of them are what they claim. They're all optical illusions. Fun illusions, but illusions nonetheless. It was August 27th of 2020. Farmers in central Java, Indonesia, were herding their buffalo across a wide-open field when something smelled funny. It was the distinct odor of rotten eggs, and it wasn't their buffaloes behind. That's when the ground started rumbling, and cascades of hot mud began shooting from a vent in the earth. The farmers realized that they were standing atop the Kisongo mud volcano. If they didn't act quickly, they could lose their buffalo and, more importantly, their lives.
Kasongo, meledos na kasongo. Kasongo, meledos na kasongo.
Woi, Melayu! Hei! Ada yang ngelele. Ayo kesel. Bantu yuk, bantu yuk, bantu yuk. Bantu, bantu. Woi! Melayu! Mbak yang ngelera mati.
Dek, segera meninggalkan tempat, Dek.
Wes kan mutar. Tengok. Letar mau tengok le. Jalan pekan saya.
According to the locals, 4 of the farmers felt dizzy and disoriented after being trapped in the eruption. They were taken to a nearby hospital and treated for poison exposure as they inhaled dangerous levels of toxic fumes coming from the ground. Sadly, 19 of their buffaloes were missing after everything calmed down. It's unclear how many made it out. Mud volcanoes differ from the bubbling mud pots in geothermal locations like Yellowstone National Park. Sometimes, those geothermal pots will release flammable gases like methane. For example, Mocha Island off the west coast of southern Chile is famous for its flaming water. The island features several natural gas deposits under the water. They're easy to spot, as it looks like the water is boiling in one place. Watch as this local teen takes a lighter to the water and sets the sea on fire.
El eterno fuego. ¡Woo!
This phenomenon only occurs during low tide and with little to no wind. Locals on Mocha Island call this event lighting the sea and claim that you can see the fire from the bottom of the water. Koh Lipe is a popular tourist island off the west coast of southern Thailand. Visitors from around the world will come to enjoy their pristine beaches and one-of-a-kind scuba diving experiences. It's worth noting, though, that the weather in this region can change instantly, as seen in this footage from November 25th of 2018. According to the locals, it was a hot and sunny day on Koh Lipe, perfect weather for the beach. Then, without warning, dark clouds moved in, and multiple cyclones spun up in the distance. While isolated water spouts are common in Thailand, 4 touching down in rapid succession was unheard of until now.
เดี๋ยวอันนี้น่ากลัวมากเลยนี่
นี่ล่องเบือนมันน้ำเป็นนะน้ำแล้ว
ใช่
มานี่เลยแน่ถ้าบอกเข้าเกมไม่จับข้างบนมันติดสูบอยู่มาล่ะไม่เลยเอาได้เลย
เดี๋ยวกูจะโดนด่า
พวกก็ทายดำโผล่หมดไม่ทายจริง
เอาหน่วยล่างเบือนนี่ได้งั้นต่อ
มันจะเข้ากันไหม2 ตัวนั้น มันจะเข้าหากัน
นั่นเคยดูจมบ่าย
ไม่จมอันนั้นใหญ่มากเลยนะ
Our camera operator, Kim Puyu, had never seen a waterspout, let alone 4. It was a breathtaking experience and one they'll never forget. Tornadic waterspouts are tornadoes that form over water or move from land to water. They'll typically spawn from severe thunderstorms, which will also produce lightning and strong winds. Fair weather waterspouts, on the other hand, form along a line of developing cumulus clouds. Unlike tornadoes, they start on the water's surface and go up to the sky. They're relatively harmless and usually dissipate within a few minutes. It's unclear what kind of waterspouts we're seeing in this video. If they were tornadic, we'd likely see rougher waters, lightning, and intense wind. Do you ever feel like you're the only one with a storm cloud over your head? It's a popular metaphor that, apparently, can actually happen, based on this video from West Java, Indonesia. Uri and Rihanna, a member of the Regional House of Representatives, was walking back to his car when he thought somebody was playing a prank on him. It was raining over his black SUV, but every other car in the lot was bone dry. He looked everywhere for a hose or sprinkler, only to realize the water was coming from the clouds.
Tuh, Masya Allah, Masya Allah. Di sini doang nih hujan nih. Ini di sini doang hujan lihat. Nih. Ini di situ doang tuh. Hujan tuh. Tuh lihat tuh. Tuh hujan doang di situ doang. Luar biasa. Luar biasa kok bisa ya? Kok bisa ya?
This rare weather event is known as ultra-localized rain. It's happened before in Indonesia, parts of Italy, and southern China. It's impossible to predict and never lasts very long, so weather experts can't study it to determine what's happening. Without concrete answers, some people assume ultra-localized rain is a hoax. To them, storm clouds over your head, or in this case your car, are reserved for movies and cartoons. Representative Rihanna begs to differ. He knows what he saw, even if he can't explain it. If you enjoyed this video and want to see another just like it, be sure to click the link on screen now. As always, thanks for watching and be sure to tune in next time.